Coming off the Jets' Black Friday loss to the Dolphins, there was some question as to what the Jets will do at quarterback going forward. Well, a decision has been made less than 24 hours after the loss, and we're going to discuss that decision and more with New York Post Jets beat reporter Brian Costello, who joins me now. Brian, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving weekend. How's everything going?
Well, Dexter, I watched a Sterling football game on Friday, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, that was exciting football for you to watch at MetLife Stadium. I don't think it really added to the holiday cheer for you, at least there, Brian. But Brian, on Saturday, Jets head coach Robert Saleh on a conference call announced that Tim Boyle will get his second start at quarterback next week. Considering what we witnessed from Boyle on Friday, is this the right move for the team going forward?
Yeah, I think it is, Dexter. I really don't think it matters who's at quarterback right now, to be honest with you. Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian. They could have taken Ryan Fitzpatrick from the Amazon stage on Friday, and it's not going to make much of a difference right now. This offense is broken. The offensive line is playing so many backups. They're a mess at wide receiver beyond Garrett Wilson, with just guys who are really, don't really belong out there yet. And Nathaniel Hackett is terrible. So I think when you add all that up together, Dexter, it's just really, really bad right now. And I don't think switching quarterbacks again is going to do anything. So give Boyle another shot. If it looks terrible again against Atlanta, then maybe you go to Siemian against the Texans. I don't know. But I just really don't think it's going to make much of a difference at this point.
All right, it's bad. Doesn't make much of a difference. Sounds like there's no hope. But here's what we're going to do, Brian. We're going to talk some hope. Some Jets fans, they're holding out for the hope of a return by Aaron Rodgers. And Saleh said on Saturday that Rodgers will be back at the team facility this week. So here's a question, Brian. Is it realistic to think that Rodgers can return from a torn Achilles in 2023?
I'll answer like this. It's not realistic because of what the Jets' record is right now, Dexter. I think if they had been able to hold things together and they were, 6-5 right now, then you'd be talking about, okay, maybe he can come back. But Dexter, 4-7. I think anyone realistically thinks you got to win 10 games probably to make the playoffs, maybe 9. So right now they'd have to win out to get to 10 wins. Do you think that's happening? So I just don't think they're going to be in a position where it makes sense to bring Rodgers back on the field. I guess they could win the next 2 games, and then you're 6-7, and maybe, I've always looked at the Commanders game on Christmas Eve as probably where he could come back. Then you're going to the Dolphins, you lose that 6-8. I don't think you bring him back at that point. So I do think you'll see him on the practice field, Dexter. I think that's going to be his victory for, that he came back on the practice field and he could have come back if the Jets were in the race. But I just don't think the Jets' record is going to be in a place where it will make any sense to risk putting Aaron Rodgers on the field, especially if the offensive line continues to be the current group of characters.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Jets fans, they got to hold on to some hope. They want some hope. They want to see Aaron Rodgers back on the field. But as Brian Costello said, might be more likely.
Tankathon.com, Dexter. Tankathon.com. Check out your draft position, Jets fans.
Jets fans are going to respond to you. They're going to respond to you, Brian, and say, it's too early. It's too early for that. It's just Thanksgiving. We're trying to get to mid-December before we look at that. Draft season. That's not what the Jets fan wanted to hear. That is Brian Costello, the great New York Post beat writer covering the Jets. Brian, always good to talk to you. Some good insight, and I hope you can give more good vibes through the holiday season for the Jets fan. I hope so.
Thanks, Dexter.
Thanks, man.